Ladies and gentlemen, we take a page out of Ultra Maximus's book. We got the tunes going on tonight, keeping the dogs from freaking out. And Happy New Year, everybody. As we jet into this 2022, let's get into this 2 weeks of top 10 lists. All right. What's up, Richie? How you doing, brother?
Doing good. How are you, man? How's your Christmas?
Oh, it was great. Excellent. Everybody is getting sick. So we're staying in tonight. I think that most people are probably staying in tonight on this New Year's Eve 2021. If you're not and you're hearing this live, be safe. Don't do any drinking and driving because it is fucking dumb. And don't shoot any guns in the air because that is just as fucking stupid. And chill on the fucking fireworks because it scares dogs. Listening to a little famous White Bat audio, Shadow Ultra, turning me on to him. It's nice royalty-free music. We have got a lot of fun, you guys. We have got New Year's Day tomorrow show. We're just going to open the comms. We're going to do probably a lengthy show. I know Monocomic Mayhem's going to be rocking. Probably start a couple hours. Probably start around maybe 7 p.m. Eastern. Just invite anybody who's been a part of this year. If you've been a part of this year, Tales from the Flipside, in this comic community, you're more than welcome to come on. Hit me up, and I'll figure out a way to get you a link. We can only have 10 people on at a time, though, so it will limit us in a way, but we'll get people in and out. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be a lot of reminiscing, a lot of drinking and partaking in herbals, and just having a good time. A lot of edibles. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be loving their day. Yeah. All right, you guys. Let's get into this. All right, here we go. So basically, you guys, last week, if you guys remember, fortunately, it was Christmas. It was time to be with your family, all that fun stuff. This week, though, you guys, is a good week to stream. Next week's going to be even better, but we still wanted to kind of go over last week's books. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go backwards. We're going to start with the regular Hot 10 since most people have seen it already. We're just going to go to the comicbookinvest.com list. If you guys don't know, comicbookinvest.com is your key to speculation and all your news and comic book needs. That is where Mr. Stein puts the list every week. Friday, you will see it. Let's get this going. So basically, last week's list was kind of interesting. We'll start it off with our book of honorable mention books. Of course, Wow Comics number 10, the Golden Age book. Stein put this one on there for Z. Mary Marvel classic cover that inspired, a lot of people think it inspired Legion of Superheroes 23 Adam Hughes variant, which looks pretty convincing. I'm okay with that. I love when, they do that. They did that back in the day when it wasn't something to homage every cover. You just like kind of homage covers here and there. One of these hit 5K for a CGC 7.5 this week. So shout out to John Z. I'd be interested to know what John Z's copy is. Wow Comics number 10. Very interesting book. The other honorable mention, which is very interesting, Sleepwalker number 1. $30 on the secondary market last week, and Ben just said, I'll just leave it at that. What's going on? Why was this jumping? Do you know, Richie?
Well, there was you know how Marvel uses code names for their characters and their properties. Like, for instance, WandaVision, when it was in Atlanta, Georgia filming, they called it Big Red.
Yes.
Oh, there was supposedly like a code name for for this character. I think it called it Sleepy or so. I don't know. I could be vice versa. But long story short, a lot of people were waiting for the Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness Marvel Legend set to come out. And remember, those are 8 packs, and typically 5 or 6 have to do with the movie, and there's always 2 that come in the pack but aren't a part of the movie. And the difference, the way you can tell, is on the packaging. The actual trade says, Marvel instead of Multiverse of Madness. Well, when this came out, Renshaw came out, Doctor Strange, America Chavez, those characters had the emblem on there, but this one was just
the one figure they just throw in there to get hype beast going, right?
Correct. Yeah. And I mean, it's not a bad spec. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. I mean, if you're going off toys to make your decisions and investments, probably consider a different path, because it's probably not 100% proof. But on the other hand, based on precedent, it has not worked out.
Yeah. All right. So number 10 last week, the Justice League Incarnate number 2 Kyle Holtz 1/25 variant was selling out the gate for $50, which is nice, double ratio. Now, this is something that you talked about, or at least on Monocomic Mayhem one night a couple weeks back. I remember talking about the Batwoman who laughs. But people are jumping on it. We'll see how long it lasts. It's not a bad cover. I like the Demon. I love Etrigan. Love that character. Cool character.
I read the book. And to be honest, I had low expectations, so maybe that's why I liked it so much. I just mentioned it on NCM because, it passed FOC, and I wanted people to be aware, if they're into these super villains like that. And, I didn't expect much, but I really enjoyed it, and I think the character is really cool. And It did see a little bit of bump. I mean, this one sold out at the retailer level, and it did see, like Ben said, I think it's, what is this, a 1/25, or is this a 1/50?
1/25.
So double ratio. That's based on Ben Stein's equation. That is the number you want to hit. So
number 9 last week was the Miles Morales 33 1/25 variant, which is absolutely gorgeous, and we'll talk about this a little bit more tonight, obviously. So we'll save it for that. But this was seeing a nice little jump at $60 last week. It is definitely not at 60 anymore. So we'll move on to that in a little bit. Back on the list at number 8 last week was Archie's Holiday Magic Special number 1, the Dan Parent variant, number to $250. A book that you probably could have picked up for pretty cheap a couple months before that. I can't remember when this came out, but we've talked about it a couple times on the list now. But $125 to see Veronica in a bikini. Archie fans are all about those bikini covers, so I'm not surprised. And it's low ratio, or high ratio, I guess you would say. There's not very many of them out there. That's what I should say. 250 is pretty low. Number 7 last week, Hawkeye and Mockingbird number 1. It was selling at $15 to $20. I like this. What do you think, Richie?
To be honest with you, I don't know much about this book. Is my mic okay? Yeah. I own issue 6. Which is a key. It's but it has nothing to do with this. I think this is more of a cover play tied into Hawkeye and the big reveal. I'm sorry, guys, if you haven't seen the end of Hawkeye yet. Spoiler alert: the reveal of the watch, basically the Shield logo, shows that Clint Barton's wife was a spy, and it leads back to Mockingbird, and we're probably going to see her become Mockingbird in the MCU.
Nice. I like that. I'm all about that. I love that his wife. I love how his wife was played in the show. So it's very interesting. All right. Number 6 last week, Star Wars Insider 2022 Souvenir C2E2 edition, the Mandalorian issue. $150. Holy cow.
I ordered these. I mean, you could ask Lucas. He sends these to me. But
did you get this one?
No, I wish, man. That is a sick cover. I mean, it looks so realistic. Wow.
Yeah. Number 5, shout out. Listen, this one is dope. Gun Honey number 3, Illus Illuminati C2E2 variant, numbered to $300. Not only did he hit us with the nostalgia on the 86, 87 Fleer design, he hit us with the bubblegum cover. There we go. Yeah, Gun Honey, another killer variant for Gun Honey. I love how he did it at 300 copies. And this book shot out the gate. Shout out to the Whatnot crew. I know that they were selling this something like crazy. And shout out to Illis Illuminati. Just one of the really fresh new faces that we need in comics, and he couldn't have shown up at a better time. He's been around for a couple of years now. He's been around for a while, but he couldn't have blown up at a better time. I think it's just perfect for him, and I love what he's doing. So we'll talk more about him a little bit later in the show. Number 4 last week. Here we go, Richie. The whole Doctor Strange, Dark Doctor Strange stuff. It's starting to show up in the list. Number 4, Doctor Strange. Number 46, from the Infinity War crossover era. Some of these books in these and with these Infinity War and Infinity Gauntlet crossovers and the Doctor Strange stuff sell. There's a couple. I remember there was one a couple years ago that really popped off. But this one last week was selling for about $40. And yeah, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I mean, it was an upward trend, from before, when I was putting my theory together. They weren't selling for as much. I mean, you could buy the set for less than $40 in high grade, 46 and 47. But please tune in to our end of the year show tomorrow on Modern Comic Mayhem. I did a little more investigative work with the mindset of saying, no, there's no way this is Necromancer Strange. No way. And I was trying to basically kill my spec, and I came up with a few new details, and could be something, might be nothing, but tune in tomorrow.
Amen. Next on the list from last week's list, number 3, Solo, A Star Wars Story, number 1, $60 raw, $275 for 9.8. Kiara is becoming a pretty popular character with this Crimson Reign stuff. Yeah, so not a surprise that the Solo stuff is selling. I got asked a lot about Solo in my last couple of Star Wars Sunday sales.
Really?
Oh yeah, got asked a lot about this book. Probably started about 3 weeks ago. People were asking for it.
This movie kind of grew on me. I mean, you're the Star Wars expert. I always refer back to Brian or Phil from Vintage Comics and Toys. Those two guys, they know the Star Wars stuff. I don't really know anything. And also shout out to my boy Sniff Comics. He knows a lot about the Star Wars stuff. But yeah, I think this cover's cool because it shows all the actors' faces, and that's pretty interesting. And I really like the movie.
I agree 100%. I like it. I like it a lot. There we go. Number 2 on the list, Doctor Strange, number 81 from 1987, the last issue in this volume. And Rintra, if that's how you say it, I believe it's Rintra. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, he's a Minotaur. He's
badass looking Minotaur character. Yeah. Of course, everybody went a little bit crazy on him with the Marvel Legends characters again. There we got Marvel Legends pumping a little bit of life into our spec again. But this one might be a little bit more solid.
Yes, and on top of that, if you haven't seen it yet, in the Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness trailer, if you screenshot, you can see a Minotaur just basically taking out the entire room. It's definitely, I mean, not definitely, but it looks like Rintra. So
yeah, it looks excellent. I know this is a book that a lot of people would pick up if they saw it just because it's a final issue. Another pro spec tip right there, you guys, whether people want to bitch on it or complain about it or not, final issues do have value. Yes. So be on the lookout for any final issues, especially in those 80s and 90s books. All right, number 1 last week, the big one, What If 18? The Dark Doctor Strange continues. It's got 3 books, or at least 2 books on the list this week or last week. And What If 18 was the one everybody was going for, but is it the one that they should have been going for?
Well, I mean, I don't think either book is bad. And if you guys are not familiar, our good friend Topher, he has an article on CBSI or comicbookinvest.com, True First. I really recommend checking that out. He has some really cool write-ups and spec picks that would just blow your mind on characters. But he mentioned that, there's more than just 2 evil stranges, the other than the What If, and then Necromancer, and then also the MCU canon, Evil Strange. You just got to check out his articles. With this book, I mean, he really likes this book. I'm thinking, hey, what if we see, no pun intended, in the MCU, because they're so like retconny. We see just like a mixture of all these characters. So yeah,
That's kind
check
of
out.
what they do.
Yeah,
I mean,
they do that. Yeah.
yeah. So there you guys go. That is the Hot 10 list from last week, Christmas week, that where everybody took off here at Tales from the Flipside. But we do have, to continue this, we do have the almost 10 from last week that we'll run over real quick here. Ben started off last week with the almost 10 with this Australian edition of Uncanny X-Men 282, which is very interesting to me. Let me get this going here. And this was a book that we've talked about multiple times on the channel, on the list, especially the Australian edition. I think that's the big one to be looking for on this list. But $200 for a very fine plus raw sale last week. So I thought that was very interesting. People looking for the rarer books.
This is the full appearance, right?
Yeah, this is the full. Right?
Yeah, it's best to have the set though, right? And it would be best to have the set in the Australian price variant. Good luck.
Yep. The next book on last week's almost 10, not a surprise, Recount number 1 was on the list last week. And what did Ben say about that? Let's take a look here. Ben said basically that they were selling us $50 to $60 a pop last week. Interesting. Very interesting. I did not know that the first prints are selling for that much. I know this is a very hot series right now. People are going a little crazy for it, but $40 to $50 last week. And then the next book on the almost 10 last week. Let me go to here. Moon Knight number 7, the Declan Shalvey 1 and 25 variant. I believe this one is. Let me shut that window. I got the people out there blowing up. They're trying to blow up their homes, scare all the freaking dogs. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the almost 10 from last week, the Declan Shalvey variant to Moon Knight number 7. People already starting to get excited for Moon Knight, obviously. And this book was selling for $80 raw last week. This is from the 2014 series. So very cool. All right, next book, the almost 10 from last week. This is the Max. This is a very interesting book. This is from the Max Maximized number 13. It's a 1 in 10 variant. Probably something you don't see very often, and it sells for about $100 raw. So be on the lookout for these later Max issues, these Sam Keith issues. Sam Keith fans are pretty ravenous about his work. So be on the lookout for those. Next, almost 10 book, New Agents of Atlas, The War of the Realms, New Agents of Atlas number 3. This is the second print variant. Of course, White Fox blowing up. Really cool book right here. Be on the lookout for this one. This one last week was selling for about 50 plus raw. So really cool book. And then the final book from the almost 10 last week, Where's Mel When We Need Him, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur number 28. This is the first appearance of Omnipotentus, I believe.
Shout out to Jim's Comics. He was is a valid and very good speculator, I should say, and well-respected person in the community. Fortunately, we haven't been able to see him lately. He is a really good content creator. I enjoy his videos. I really hope he comes back soon. He liked this book a lot. This is Omnipotentus, whatever.
Omnipotentus, yeah.
Right, Potentus is a version of Galactus, I believe, or something like that. Or
isn't it like the mother of Galactus or something like that?
Maybe it's something tied to Galactus, yeah.
So
I didn't get this book. It was just way too expensive, and I didn't, I wasn't dabbling at that.
Phonograph, love your avatar. The random music is coming from my speakers because I've got a shaking dog beneath me because of all the fireworks. So we're rocking a little White Bat synthwave. Shout out Ultra Maximus for putting us onto White Bat a couple years back. So rocking a little bit of that in the background. So you guys are lucky enough tonight to deal with that royalty free. We'll let that keep rocking.
Brian, this was about $120 plus book at one time raw. I believe the orders were under 10,000. So
it's about $80 now raw. So a little bit less, but it's on the up. It's on the up. People on the lookout for the Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur stuff. So
gotcha.
Brother of Galactus. Isn't Omnipotentus, was it male? I thought it was female. Maybe not. Okay, brother of Galactus. Mother is current defenders on shut.
Thank you, Patrick.
AOA goobers in their home fire.
Yeah, hey Patrick, what's up, buddy? Happy New Year.
I agree. You guys,
I was just thinking about the Defenders run.
Yeah. A lot of people talking to me, the last couple of weeks about Defenders and Champions and the movement on those books. So be on the lookout for any of those. And then let's get into this week's list, ladies and gentlemen. Let me pull this down here. So if you guys don't know, I want to remind you to make sure you check out the Hot 10 every week over on comicbookinvest.com, which is best place to get all your news, your spec information, all that fun stuff. This week's list was just updated today, New Year's Eve. Stein working on the working hard to get that list out while everybody's enjoying their day. Let's get into that list right here. Here we go. We're going to start again with the Almost 10, you guys. You guys know the Almost 10 is a list of books that Stein just loves to put out and show people that they might not know much about these books. So let's get into it. Here is the first book on the list tonight, Sports Illustrated, the first issue from August 16th, 1954. Iconic magazine here, right here. Of course, that sports card fans always been looking out for. One of these sold a 9.4, sold for $2,200. So yeah. Be on the lookout for Sports Illustrated #1 from August. Was it 19th or 15th? I can't tell. August 15th, maybe 1954. So August 1954. Originally 35 cents. 35 cents. I bet you a lot of these, a lot of people have this and don't realize they have it.
What a great cover.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. All right, next book on the list, another interesting old school Dell comic, Leave It to Beaver #1. Look at that cover, Jesus. Leave It to Beaver #1 and 9.8 sold for $5,000. Crazy, absolutely bonkers. Some of these old school Dell books sell for a grip. I remember I used to just always pass them over. Rookie move. Be on the lookout for those old school Dell books. Here's a book that you probably will never pass over because you'll never see it in the wild. Albedo #2, first appearance of Usagi Yojimbo, a classic grail right here. One broke a record, I believe, sold for a 9.6, sold for $24,000. $4,000 more than a 9.8 last summer. So a 9.6 sold for $24,000. A 9.8 sold for $20,000 last summer. Big time book, super tough to find. Rumors of a fire that killed most of the copies of these. And
wow.
And these were super, super hard to find to begin with. Of course, the old school independent world was just really blowing up at that time. There's so many independent publishers out there doing their thing. So this was a absolutely banger of a book. Still will always be a grail book for especially us that grew up in the 80s and 90s. So absolutely gorgeous. Be on the lookout for the chibi variants and the foil variants that were put out, I think a couple years ago. Really, really cool books too. So next book on the Almost 10 this week. This is an interesting one that I've never heard of. Kankor. This is I believe a self-published book. I'm not 100% sure, but it's Kankor Anamnesis. It's really hard to look it up. Kankor Anamnesis #1 by Matt Allison. It says, in the tradition of Flex Mentallo, Madman, Jim Woodring's Manhog stories, comes Cankor, jam-packed with cosmic meanderings and emotional research regurgitation. Cankor serves as a self-help guide for the sad sack cyborg set. Get the latest issue of the series today. So I guess here's a perfect example of books that you never would think might be worth something. You find out they're worth something here. This is a book that sells for $40 plus on the regular. So be on the lookout for this one, Cankor, released in 2021. All right. Next book on the list this week, another interesting one that I've never heard for in the Almost 10, Friday Foster, #1. This is 1975. It says I think this is published in 72. Single issue series based on the first syndicated newspaper comic strip that featured a black woman. So it says here, 3 years after the comic was published, Pam Grier starred in a film of the same name.
Yummy.
Yeah, amen. Pam Grier was hot for a long time. Probably still is hot. But yeah, another crazy book that you need to be on the lookout for. Love to find this book in a back issue bin. One of those books that has a history attached to it. Love that type of stuff. So very cool book. One of these recently sold for $135. Very good. $135. Very
wow. Good. Damn.
Yeah, that's really cool. So all right, next book on the Almost 10 list, book I've talked about multiple times on the channel. People always laugh at me when I talk about this book, the Halo graphic novel preview. This was a freebie preview that they gave away in your comic stores as you were walking out. I remember picking it up at the time specifically because my roommate, who is my best friend back then, he was also my roommate, my buddy Keith Obit, who I do the podcast with, at the time was a professional Halo player, sponsored in MLG, would go all around the world and play in these tournaments.
Same my brother. Same with my brother.
MLG, baby. MLG back in the day. OG, Final Boss, Ogre Twins type time. Walshy, all those guys. But this book, I remember giving it to him, grabbing it specifically to give it to him. And yeah, you could have got them for free. Could have got them like Double J says. JJ says bought a couple of these at $1 each a couple of years ago. Well, now they're selling because of the Halo is back and better than ever from what I'm hearing. Plus, they also have the show that's coming out. So this one right here is sold in a 9.8, sold for $800. 9.8 sold for $800. So I love stuff like this, these cool previews, promo books, that type of stuff. We talk about them all the time on the channel. And this is a good one. Be on the lookout for it. All right. Number 14 on the list this week is, I wish Mighty Mel V was here to talk about this one. This is Department of Truth number 14. This is the Tupac variant, which is not a photo. For those of you guys that think this is a photo cover, it is not a photo cover.
Really?
No, it's not. This is the David Sanchez variant. I believe it was limited to 500.
Wow.
I believe it was limited to 500. Yeah. Now here's my thing, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing, because this book is flying right now, absolutely flying. It is selling easily for $100 raw, easily. And here's my only thing. I felt like that if you're gonna put Tupac on a cover, can we do more than just put X's over his eyes?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, it's a beautiful drawing, absolutely gorgeous, but it looks so real and it's so good that it looks like a photo with just X's over his eyes. Right. But no greater hip hop artist, in my opinion, than Tupac. Grew up in the 90s listening to Tupac from the go. I remember seeing him in what was that old Dan Aykroyd movie where he played the judge with Chevy Chase, and it had oh god, that was a great fucking
I don't
movie.
remember that one. I remember
he was a dancer.
That one.
Yeah, he was a dancer in it. By the way, if you guys haven't seen an amazing movie that Tupac was in called Gridlocked, do yourself a favor, absolutely amazing. One of the best acting performances you will see
He was a good
by
actor.
Tupac. He was an amazing actor. He played a heroin junkie with Tandy Newton and Tim Roth, and it was an amazing movie. Made me fall in love with Tim Roth as an actor even more, and judged a great movie. Gridlocked came out after he passed away. So many great things have come out after he passed away. You remember how young he was when he passed away, which is absolutely unbelievable. I just think how different today would be if Tupac was still around.
It's what is that? I mean, besides the Kurt Cobain, this is probably the biggest conspiracy in entertainment history.
And I was hook, line, and sinker when Hit 'Em Up. I remember when Hit 'Em Up came out. I immediately thought like, oh shit, there is some things going there. Like I got into it so bad about when he died. He was in Puerto Rico or Cuba, and you would go listen to his old Machiavelli came out, and Machiavelli, he was basically word for word. I could tell you how the day I died, all that shit like that. Absolutely crazy. But unfortunately, yeah, he was in Digital Underground in that movie. Yeah, amen. Unfortunately, we lost him to silliness, to silly ego. Absolutely silly ego. Ego is nothing but negative, you guys, in my opinion. Kill that ego immediately. The sad thing is so many people that we lost about that.
Ego and pettiness.
Yeah, pettiness. Ugh. Oh, it's terrible. But what I want to say about this also, you brought it up. You brought up the Kurt Cobain part. The Department of Truth, Kurt Cobain, the Los Illuminati issue was also, I believe, Department of Truth 14. And now I got to find 2 Department of Truth 14s.
I'll keep my eye out for you, brother.
Yeah, man. There's like so many books this year that I think are my books of the year that I don't even own. And to find those, to hear those, you guys, make sure you tune in tomorrow to our New Year's Day show. You will see that probably start around 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. But yeah, absolutely amazing. This thing has been absolutely on fire, and Jay Nunya is 100% right. Rapper shootings are worse now. Absolutely ridiculous. Lost so many amazing young musicians this year and last year. Absolutely horrible. But be on the lookout for this. If you guys see them, of course, remember it was limited, so there's not very many out there. All right, the last book for the Almost 10 this week, a book that a lot of people have been screaming about the past couple of weeks. Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers, an old school independent head, brothers. You can see them. They're just toking on the fucking bong, all about smoking pot. I remember this back in the day when I was young, hearing about this and finding them every once in a while. I wish I would have picked up a #1 issue. Never dead, but this issue is on fire right now. A CGC 8.5 sold for just about $1,300. So Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers. There is a show out, I believe. I haven't seen it yet. You guys in the chat, let me know what you guys think. It does look like Crumb. A lot of Crumb in I bet you Crumb's in this issue. I wouldn't be surprised if his art's somewhere in this issue. Flame Brain Comics said, I scored that Nirvana Illus Illuminati at Comic Man NYCC. Did you score an extra? And 132 listening right now. I appreciate you guys tuning in on this New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's Eve to you all. If there's one way we can get around COOF 19 for 2021, it's by thinking about comics, hanging out, enjoying ourselves, being around a community that we love. I know a lot of people are hanging inside tonight, doing their best to stay away from that Transformer variant out there. But much love to all you guys.
A couple years ago when me and Brian first started hanging out, I was a little irritated. He asked me what was wrong, and I said, anxiety, this pandemic. It was right at the beginning, and he said, man, you need some nostalgia. Nostalgia is the cure to anxiety. Well, guess what? Cobra Kai season 4 started today, and oh my gosh, nostalgia high all day today, guys. Check it out.
Yeah, I just sold some of those badass Cobra Kai variants a couple weeks ago on a whatnot sale.
Good.
Yeah, so good, man. I'm very interested to see where this season takes us. I know there's supposed to be some kind of weird turn, but we'll see. we'll see how it works out. All right, you guys, that was the almost 10 this week. Make sure you guys stick around every week for the around every week for the beginning of the show where we do the almost 10. You can only find the almost 10 here on Tales from the Flipside channel. Of course, the list is written every week by the one and only Ben Steiniger. And this week, the Golden Age book of the week. Let's get into it. Police Comics #1 here, you guys. A classic issue right here. A 2.5 with glue and tape sold for $11,400, which is $2,500 more than a 6.5 sold for a year ago. Two first appearances in this Golden Age book is really impressive, almost as impressive as Firebrand's left arm. So, of course, if you guys don't know, this is a book that people are on the regular looking for Plastic Man first appearance, and also
Plastic Man first?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Isn't it the Spirit's first opinion also was in Police Comics, I believe so. Police Comics #1, very interesting. Phantom Lady there on the cover too. So the Golden Age book of the week, another banger. Let's get into the final honorable mention this week. And this is a beauty. Absolutely gorgeous. Miles Morales, Spider-Man #13, the Raza variant. What an absolutely gorgeous cover. Reminds me a lot of the DJ cover, but it's got its own thing going on with the TVs in the background like that. When you finally get a chance to look at it, it's just beautiful. The only problems, I hate that 2020
it was part
variant.
You're right. It was part of the Iron Man 2020, I guess you can say, event when they let that go. They released that waste of a series. I didn't like it. I mean, I don't mean to offend anybody, but hey, guess what? In the guts, you got first appearance of Billy Morales, which to this day people are speculating could be Spider-Zero. So I hope we can finally find out, because we're already on issue 34 coming out. So if you are watching Marvel, let us know.
Yeah, Police Comics 11 was the first Spirit. Thank you, Joey, the Stunt Master. That is right. Police Comics 11 was the first Spirit. So there we go. I recently sold one of these, and I wish I didn't. I wish I would have put it in the PC. I do not own another one, but it is a beautiful cover. Beautiful
what kind
cover.
Of prices?
I don't remember what I sold it for. I don't remember. It was another Whatnot sale, which it's hard to remember those sales sometimes because they're so quick.
Yeah, I saw some prices today. My boys are in the live chat. They can help me out here. But they were all-time highs. I mean, 9/8 were just going through the roof. And when I saw that Ben caught this, I was like, oh, thank God. Because, so.
Well, let's take a look here.
Yeah, check it out. I believe all-time highs on this one.
Miles Morales 13, right?
Yep, the Iron Man 2020 variant, Raza.
There we go, you guys. Let me get this going here. Let's go find sold items, and we'll show everybody.
This was open to order, right?
There we go. So, wow. Why are they showing that? There we go. 150 raw.
Wow.
What? Wow.
Best BO.
25. See, I mean, it looks so much like the same cover artist, but
as the turntables.
Yeah.
I love that cover.
Yeah. So, tough book. A lot of people are looking for it, so be on the lookout for that one, you guys. Absolutely gorgeous book too. All right, let's do this here. Let's get into the number 10 book on the list this week, you guys. Wonder Woman, number 83 from the 94 series. Amazing Brian Boland cover right here. Yeah, I like this one a lot. Let's take a look here. Ben says 9.8s are 300 plus. Raw high grade copies are 70 plus. Says, quote, "It is interesting how modern bondage covers don't carry the same pizzazz as pre-code." And
right. Good point.
Yeah, this is a good one though. Not only does it have the bondage going on, it has a gun to the head cover,
Wow.
which is crazy, absolutely bonkers here. These Wonder Woman Bolin covers really sold well for a long time, and then they kind of dipped after I think the Wonder Woman movies really didn't pan out. It's kind of sad. But yeah, this one is selling. Be on the lookout for it. If you have it and it's in high grade, get that sucker graded and get your little bucks for it.
I wonder if there's a DC universe for that.
You know, that's a great question. There are a lot of DC universe variants for these Brian Bolin Wonder Woman covers, so there could be. All right, number 9 on the list this week. Power Rangers fans rejoice! You get yourself a imitation JTC negative space variant. This is the Power Rangers universe number 1 Montez 1 in 50 variant. $70 to $75 right now, so a little bit more than half the ratio. People are still in love with these negative space variants, and even though this one isn't a JTC, it is well done, says Stein. What do you think?
Origin of the Phantom Ranger in the guts. There are multiple beautiful covers as well. This thing is absolutely breathtaking. I mean, it's just so cool. It's just like they just took a red piece of paper and just, it's amazing how they do this. It looks so realistic.
Yeah. 137 live on this New Year's Eve. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Hopefully you guys are safe and sound. We got a couple more minutes here. All right. Trial by Gods. Shout out Trial by Gods. If you guys don't know Trial by Gods, give him a follow on IG. One of the newest members of the Flipside crew. Super happy to have him around. Can't wait to get him on more shows. He was on the pickup show for the Modern Playbook crew the other night. That was a great show. If you guys didn't see it, go check it out. Yeah. Unfortunately, James, the fireworks are freaking out everybody's dog right now. If you guys are lighting off fireworks,
you
grow
lose.
the fuck up. Yeah, grow the fuck up. On to number 8 this week. An interesting cover. A Harley Quinn cover. Nice to see some DC covers on the list. We don't see them very often. We've had a couple tonight so far. Harley Quinn, number 10, the Rochta Lynn 1 in 25 variant. So the Lynn 1 in 25 variant. It's been selling for about 40 plus. Another anime manga style artist, and this could be some type of shift that will continue into 2022. What do you guys think?
Kind of rose beshy, but not so. More like,
it's not as angular.
Yeah, and I guess you could throw a little bit of what?
A little bit of Peach Momoko into it too, with the colors, the pencil.
Very interesting, and good catch on the manga. I don't remember on Lunar if it was actually labeled manga variant, but the eyes definitely look anime manga style. So good catch.
So yeah, it's a beautiful cover. It's not terrible, that is for sure. Let's see here. Ben wrote that it, of course, is selling for $40.
Wow.
And yeah, it is cooking raw. $40 plus I'm seeing on here right now. 45, 50. So yeah, it might be an artist to keep an eye on for 2022 also. So you never know with that. All right. On to number 7. Oh boy, I got to talk about this one again. We talked about it in the beginning when we were going over last week's list. This is the 3rd week it's on the list, and you guys, I need help. I need help, you guys, because I need one of these, and I do not have one. This is probably going to be in my cover of the year category list tomorrow night. I absolutely love this cover. I never would have thought I would have fallen in love with a new costume that Miles has. But the layout of this book, how they changed it up from the previewed issue, how they centered the trade dress, how they put the Marvel 33 variant in the bottom right. I love this book right here. So number 7, Miles Morales, Spider-Man. Number 33, the 1 in 25 variant, is fetching 125 right now raw.
It's I mean, you know, after that Spider-Verse 2 trailer, it just blew us away. Took me a second took my brain a second to process that, hey, this is the same kind of cover art as the animation we're
Yes.
going to be seeing. And then today I read the book. And I see why Assessor is getting a bump. We'll just say that. I won't spoil it for you guys, but that's, if you guys don't know, Assessor first appearance, Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 8, and I know a lot of people will think he's a ghoulish character. He's not a ghoulish character. He's an artificial intelligence. Yeah. So read it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, you guys. I'm thinking that hopefully the night will continue on with not as many fireworks out here, but it's getting to be that time for you guys in the East Coast. A couple minutes away.
Are we going to count them down?
Well, I'm too old for that counting down shit, but we will raise a glass or give you a fucking deuce for 2021. One of the two. 3 minutes till midnight. Joe's dueling says, let's continue on with the list, you guys. Number 6 this week, a gorgeous Doom cover, infamous Iron Man. Number 12, the Alex Maleev variant. Was this 1 in 25? What was the ratio on this one?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. But I'm guessing it's probably is an incentive. There were 1 in 10s in this run, so could have been a 1 in 10. I bet you Patrick could tell us right away.
Yeah. So
or Ultra.
Or Ultra. $35 to $40 raw right now. So it is a non-incentive. Oh wow, non-incentive that is getting harder to find, and one that looks amazing. Honest question though, what is the fascination with Dr. Doom? Come on, Stein. What are you talking about? Dr. Doom's a badass. They just fuck him up in the movies.
Okay, so I'm reading the barcode. It says 1221. So I'm
01221. So it's the second.
That should be cover B, first print of issue 12.
It's a second print, not ratio. Look at that.
Unless, that's crazy, because usually if it's second print, the last number will be 2. But hey, Patrick knows his stuff, so I trust him if that's what he says.
Yeah, Tom says Doom is the best villain. Hollywood Bullseye Comics says Hollywood hates Dr. Doom. Yes, they do. They can't fucking do it right.
Why? It's so weird.
Yeah, because he's such a great character. It's because they always make him pure evil. The thing about Dr. Doom that makes Dr. Doom so good is there's a big part of him that we have respect for him for. He's more vigilante. No, he's more like Namor, and Doom and Namor and Thanos. They're a little bit alike, where they're not just pure evil. Right. Maybe what they're doing is evil, but they're doing it for their countrymen or for their being, whoever,
Latveria or
yeah.
And just Marvel, give them an iron suit in the MCU and make all the speculators happy. That's all.
Yep.
Happy New Year, guys, on the East Coast. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everybody. Raise a glass, raise a toast, roll a blunt, whatever works. We've got a couple more hours out here on the West Coast, but we will be doing the same that you're doing right now. Shout out to everybody. Late Night Comics with the $9.99 super chat says Happy New Year.
Great guy, Late Night Comics.
Listen, man, we have got a community here second to none. The comic book community and the IG and content and YouTube content creator universe, YouTube, IG, TikTok is just absolutely amazing. This year couldn't have been better for us that are enjoying making content, talking about comics, especially the way we do, speculation heavy. Just wait till next year, you guys. If you thought this year was great, just wait till next year. I have a feeling that 2022 is going to be just awesome for us. Let's keep selling. Let's keep buying great books. Let's keep flipping big books for better books. Let's continue to make money. And over here on the Flipside channel, we're going to kind of spread out a little bit more to maybe things better than just comics. We need to talk a little bit more about trading cards, a little bit more about Pokemon, a little bit more about sports cards, a little bit more about action figures, VHS collecting, sneakers, fantasy sports, whatever it is, you guys, how to make a little bit of money and enjoy doing it. Like Richie said, nostalgia is the key to a happy heart for a lot of us. So we're going to try and take you there every week here on Tales from the Flipside in 2022. All right, on to the second half of the list. Number 5 this week, Amazing Spider-Man 194. There's been rumors, you guys, that we're getting a Black Cat movie or series with Anna Taylor-Joy, which I think is great. I absolutely love her. I think she's amazing. I think she's a great actress. I think everything she's been in, she's hit the spot. I think that's a great thing. And I don't know how true it is. I don't know if it'll pan out, but if it does pan out, I'm all for it. So we're seeing a little bit of movement, just a little bit of movement on 194. Of course, first appearance of Black Cat at number 5 this week. It comes in on the Hot 10 list because 9.0s are 750, 8.0s are almost 500 on this one, you guys.
Wow.
I also have heard over the years to be on the lookout for a air version of this.
Air version, yeah.
As you guys can see up by that comics code up there on the top right cover, if you see a little bit of yellow to the right of the comics code, that is the air version from what I'm told. So be on the lookout for that one because that sells for a grip. Let's take a look and see what 9.8s are selling for on these. I don't have GPA, which is a bummer right now, but we'll take a look on the Bay if we see anything has been selling on this here. 9.8. Let's take a look here. Well, if I can write it correctly. Thanks again for hanging out with us, you guys, on this amazing New Year's Eve 2021. Counting it down for the West Coast, Midwest, East Coast has already dropped the ball. Congratulations. Happy New Year, everybody. All right, let's see here. So one sold December 19th for $4,450. Another one sold December 12th, best offer under $5,500. So anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000 for a 9.8, you guys, on this one right now. So I like that. I'm all for it.
Recent news that Sony is moving forward with the Black Cat property. I don't know how. I mean, that's not confirmed by Sony. Just it's floating out there on the internet, so could be a part of the bump.
Yes, amen. All right, number 4. There's so many books on this list this week that I don't have that I want so bad, and this is another one of them. Number 4 this week.
I got
Strange
you. I got you. Dude, I got 5 or 6 of them. I got you.
Strange Academy number 2, the Art Adams variant, you guys. This one is a banger. $60-$80 on this raw right now. I love this character Doyle. I love where they're going with them. I think this is one of the few comics that is so good right now. This might be one of those books that I think is going to be good from beginning to end. You know what I mean? There's very few books that are that good, especially in the big 2 that played out from beginning to end so well. But Scotty Young doing writing on this is amazing.
He's an amazing
Ramos,
writer.
Humberto Ramos found his niche. See, listen, you guys, Humberto Ramos can just kill it, but he can also just phone it in. And this one, he is killing it. He is perfect for this series, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Of course, Strange Academy 14 still popping off. People are still buying that one big.
Timeless one also, or Timeless issue 1 that just dropped. There was a little bit, I won't spoil it for you guys, but there was a little bit of drama with Dormammu and I believe his pops, with Doyle and his pops, so Dormammu. So Yeah. And then plus issue 14, first full gas lamp. We covered that one last week, I think, on MCM, Modern Comic Mayhem. Yeah, just to give you kind of a footnote version, he is basically the not Gaslamp, but Doyle is basically the key character throughout that story. So it's a great read. And like Brian was saying, and like Patrick would say, this is low hanging fruit. I mean, and these books are still affordable. I mean, if this property does not get developed, I mean, the MCU is leaving money on the table, literally. So.
Yeah, big series. Love this series. 135 watching live right now. I want to shout out a bunch of people in here. Shout out to the Rancor King. Shout out to Manny the Comic Collector. Shout out to Tom, Nate 138th, Ronnie Saunders. Shout out to Ronnie Saunders. He says Happy New Year from Florida.
Hey, Ronnie,
great way
what's
to
going
get
on,
to
bro?
2022. Go Dirty Flippers. Amen. AOA, Joe's doing. Blind Adam. Shout out Blind Adam. Make sure you guys follow Blind Adam, Awesome Sauce Radio, over on also Comic Crusaders. Sergio Reyes, a lot of Joseph Pantalone, Hi Nathan, Glenn Howard, Cherokee Metal, Mag Daddy 3. He says Happy New Year's from the East Coast. Happy New Year's, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Let's get into number 3, the top 3 books of the week, you guys. And a Star Wars book is on the list, you guys, and a book that I never, ever expected to see get hot again, especially the way it's gotten this hot. I thought
you own this, right?
Oh God, I probably have like 10 of these covers,
okay,
man.
Good. Like, yeah,
this
I have the whole
book,
the 5 series.
Yeah, this was a book, you guys, that you could have picked up in dollar bins for the longest time, and we picked them up. We picked them up because it was the first appearance of Kel Dormo, I believe. This also had a lot of those expanded universe characters' first appearance back in the day. We thought, if anything, this was one of the earlier spec on Star Wars books, but the spec on it just went completely dead when Kathleen Kennedy killed all the expanded universe stuff and said that we're not doing canon. But thank God for Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni coming in there and saying, these characters and these storylines are too good, and we want them just as much as the fans want them. So Tales of the Jedi, number 1, is back at it on the list. Number 3 this week, Ben writes, was $8 to $10 raw, 9.8s were under $100. Now $30 plus raw, and 9.8s are $175 plus. I don't know if it's confirmed. If it is, please feel free to comment below. But someone showed a Lucasfilm gift that showed Tales of the Jedi on the packaging, causing people to scurry to pick up the early 90s Dark Horse title. And of course, if you guys don't know, this book was also previewed in a Dark Horse previews book early before the. Shout out again to the King Topher. Make sure you guys go read his True First article. I'm sure he talks about this over there on comicbookinvest.com. So great book, great Dave Dorman cover, old school Dave Dorman cover, old Republic type stuff. I like it. I like to see that it's moving again. Like any of the expanded universe Star Wars stuff getting some love. Great stories, great characters.
I sold 2 for $40 a pop. So, I mean, to be honest, these were literally in a long box. Like I was telling you guys, I have 5, maybe 6 of the entire 5-issue series, 4 or 5 issue series. They're laying in a long box. And then when I saw the leak and the connection to the Knights of the Old Republic or the reintroduction or what have you, I listed a few, try to set the market. 50 got offers right away at about $40. I sold them both. So yeah, they're out there. Flip them. Let's get those big books.
Multiple first appearances in this too, I believe. So, all right, on to number 2 this week. And this book has been moving lately. It's moving super fast again. Edge of Spider-Verse number 2 is number 2 on the list this week. And Ben writes, don't you wish you would have bought this back in the last month for 1,000-ish for a 9.8 Prices are now around 1,800 plus after reports that Sony wants Emma Stone for Spider-Gwen project. How true that is, we don't know. But if those rumors are true, any news about Spider-Gwen is good news, right?
Right.
Into the Spider-Verse 2 looks great. Character's going to blow up along with multiple characters. And this is just a great book. Tons and tons of variants for this issue, you guys. Of course, you know the Greg Land book, the famous Greg Land book that everybody sold off way too early. The different printings, you guys have second, third, fourth, the third printings, the fourth printings. I like the fifth printing. I like the Saya Ohm Comic Bug exclusive. There's two different ones for that. There are a lot of books in the series. Let's go ahead and
the second print should be the lowest of the prints, I believe. They came out right around the same time. The third print, I know, like I've mentioned multiple times, this book, I know we're not all for designs, it's basically different strokes for different folks, but it's a cool design and it's a late printing without interior art and a new cover. I think it has legs long term and it's very affordable. The fourth print, the purple, it's a color match. It's gorgeous. I think that there's a lot of money to still be made here if you're priced out of the first print.
I love them all. I don't like the Comic Bugs ones as much, but I love the design variant just because it's different. And I love how they went about this. This is one of the first books I remember them just changing colors and making it desirable, right? And just a great thing, great book to find in back issue bins if you're lucky enough to still find them. Be on the lookout. That is the number 2 book this week. They are flying. So, all right, you guys, number 1 this week. We all knew this was going to be the number 1 book. We knew when we saw this book previewed that it was going to be a monster. That is Timeless number 1, the Humberto Ramos variant of Miss Minutes, $30 plus right now we're seeing on the secondary market. As a matter of fact, let's take a look and see what they're selling for now. And there was a ton of them. So there was still even a ton of them on the market and they were still flying. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Timeless number 1.
The Miss Minutes was revealed 6 weeks before FOC. It was such a no-brainer. I mean, it's shout out to our boy Gary, the comic Despective. If you don't know or are not following him, please give him a follow on IG. He's got a great mind for speculation. He brings up a good point around this time every year with Marvel Comics. FOC is it's a few books and a few books released. Well, there were 17 titles that did release this week, and I think like 55 to 57 covers. This one was just a no-brainer. I mean, anybody could have figured this one out. First cover appearance of Miss Minutes. Unfortunately, she's not in the book, so don't expect her to be there.
Yeah, this is just a cover buy, in my opinion. 100% cover buy on this. Anything that comes with it is great, but this is all about the cover and nostalgia for that great character that they created in Loki. For the number 1 book,
it's a must-own.
It is 100% a must-own, and I'm really excited to see if it continues to gain value. I mean, there were so many of these ordered, and it really shows you what a good cover can do for a book. I love it. Zombie Prophet said there's an auction go at $202 for this book right now. Really? That's very interesting. Holy cow. Yeah. 3 weeks out. Nate 138 says you could have seen this. We saw it coming 3 weeks out. Yeah, I remember when we were talking about it on Drunken Chat, son. When we first saw it, when we were doing the new previews books. Absolutely amazing. A 5-pack at $202. Okay, 5-pack at $202. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, I think people are smart to sell them in those 5-packs. If you got 20 of these, like a lot of people did, or 10 of them, sell them at multiple copies, because I don't know if even though this is that good of a cover, will it hold out? That's the question.
Well, I mean, she seems like she had a prominent role in Series 1. Series 2 is confirmed, so she's going to be there. And, we had multiple rumors that, TVA or Owen Wilson and those characters are going to be in other movies in Phase 4 and Phase 5. So hey, I wouldn't be surprised if she pops up here and there.
Yeah. Yep. A lot of people looking for this book. Don Santos says people pushing Timeless One as the first new Punisher logo as well. Eek. I want no part of that, you guys. That is garbage. Absolute garbage. And maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow night when everybody's a little bit lubricated and feeling good about the night. You guys remember tomorrow night over on the Tales from the Flipside channel that you are watching right now. We are going to do our end of the year special where we just come on. We invite everybody that's been on the channel throughout the year. If you guys have been on the channel throughout the year and you guys want to come in and hang out, just drop in. You don't have to stay for the whole show, because I imagine the whole thing is probably going to be like a 5-6 hour show. But we just want people to come in and come out and reminisce about the year, reminisce about 2021. We want to talk about your favorite covers, your favorite storylines, your favorite new creators. We want to talk about your favorite moments in comics, your favorite moment in content that you've been watching, whether it's Tales from the Flipside, Drunken Chat, Newbie Comics, Spine Ticks, whatever it is out there. We want to hear about your favorite moments. We just want to have a good time, reminisce about the year, and look forward to 2022 and talk about maybe what we want to do in 2022, what we can do better in 2022, and keep this community rocking. So, Richie, I appreciate you hanging out again with me tonight on the Hot 10.
Always.
And I want to thank everybody that watched live with us. We appreciate you guys that catch us on the rewind. Of course, music in the background tonight, care of White Bat Audio. Shout out to Ultra for that one. And we will see you guys next week. Adios.